Paul Meyer with DealerVendorMatch.com, coming to you live from Digital Dealer in Las Vegas, Nevada. Incredible event. I've seen so many friends that I have not seen since NADA 2 years ago when I was out here, and I've met a lot of connections that I've never met in person before, as well as fans. People have come up to me that recognized me, that knew me from my content online, that I met today for the first time. So that's really exciting. So we're going to visit a couple of booths here. We're going to do a walkthrough to the event. Is it on there or not yet? Okay, so hopefully you guys can see all this. So let me know in the comments whether or not you can. Switch the camera around for the other side. Camera. Okay, we're going in. I'll tell Steve I'll be back. You can see there's a lot of vendors here, a lot, in all different areas of the business. The car business, my favorite business. And we're going to go visit the folks at Velocity Automotive Solutions. They're one of our premier members on our website. And they have some really cool products that take it from the very beginning of acquisition through reconditioning to merchandising online. So we're going to talk to them in just a moment here. Hugh and Kayla, how are you? We're live right now on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. You name it, we're there. So tell us some cool stuff about Velocity Automotive Solutions.
Well, there's lots of cool things to tell. We've had a lot of dealers, a lot of demos today. Had a lot of success with our window stickers and the Engage product. I think that OEM window stickers and the portfolios are something that every single dealership can use for their used cars. So that's been a great hit for us, and it's a perfect segue into our recon process. And we've had good success so far today. It's been fun.
And Hugh, how's the event going for you so far?
It's been pretty busy. We're happy so far with the turnout.
You know, what I love about your product is that it really covers every facet from the beginning to the end, right? You've got to buy the car, you've got to make sure it goes through the shop in an expeditious manner, and then you have to present it in such a way online that the customer really has all of the answers that they want to the questions they're going to ask you. And when that happens, you shorten up the time that it takes to move the car off the lot.
Yep, absolutely.
And that goes well beyond the economy that we're in right now.
That's right. Everybody needs those used cars, so it's one way also to get more of them in your inventory, like your accurate appraisals, and so that's been a hot topic. Everybody needs more of those.
And you know what? One of the interesting things too, that if I walk into a store and I ask 10 different people, how long is your process from when you acquire the car until it goes, you'll get 10 different answers. And I would say probably 9.5 of those answers would be incorrect.
Right.
Well, they don't have a way to keep up with it. So they're just guessing based on what their managers are telling them.
Right.
Or maybe what their RO open and close times are. That's usually the only timestamp that they truly have.
But your software, it measures exactly from the moment they get it. So you know exactly where the kinks are, where the breakdown in the process is. So anything that can be measured can be improved on.
That's right. And automated.
And automated.
Right.
Because we already do too much manually as it is.
Yeah. Too much room for human error. We want to try to eliminate some of that, make it a little bit easier.
Awesome. Well, great. Wish you a successful show.
Thank you
Great
so
to see you guys.
much. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
It wasn't for that. I was just saying, hey. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. This is an incredible event. Yes.
Yeah.
So many people here. A lot of dealers.
Yeah. No, there really has been a lot of decision makers.
More than a lot of people were anticipating.
Yeah. Morning was busy. A lot of people.
Awesome.
Good
I'll
to see
stop
you.
back. Good to
All
see you.
right,
Okay. Okay, let's go see what else is here.
Hey, Vivian, text me if you need a demo.
Is that Paulie? Mr. Meyer.
Hey, Mr. Paul Machine, we're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook right now.
And my good friend Johnny Canales.
Hey, how are you, Paul?
Hey,
Nice to meet you, Paul.
I've met you.
Yeah,
We're
several
connected
times,
online
you
as
bet.
well.
That's right, yeah, you bet.
Great to see you and great to
See
meet you in
too.
person.
Yeah, you bet.
Always good to see you, my friend.
Wally, you got any words of wisdom for us?
Sell your cars because you always buy more.
And things are going to be rocky for a little bit longer, right?
Absolutely.
What's the latest data show?
So right now our adjusted for wholesale first of the year, 130, right at 138% to wholesale. Well, retail is about 125% on the ask.
Yeah.
And right now the LTV average is right at 110%.
All day
Wow.
long.
Now, I was guessing Q2 of next year, but it looks like we're going to be in this storm for quite a bit longer.
Yes. So if you look at it this way, we have no heavy defleeting like we've had consistently every year.
Yeah.
We even had heavy defleeting in 2020 at the end of Q4 that
Yeah.
helped promote Q1 sales and Q2 sales for used vehicles. We're not going to have any of that this year. We're not going to have off leases, fleets. We already know the installed capacity for production for new car manufacturers is dropping even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, we're going to run into a problem just in a short time down the road because we're not going to have all those cars coming off lease
That's correct.
like we've been expecting, right?
That's right. And parts is another issue. So the older vehicles, so the average age of the vehicle on today is 12 years on the road.
Yeah.
And now parts are also becoming scarce because they're coming from everywhere else instead of being made here.
And when production stops, there's no plan B.
Right. And we, one of my friends from Auto Transport Intel, one of their guys just put an image of a crankshaft. He said, "This is the last brand new crankshaft that this factory can build for the rest of this year."
Wow.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
In November.
Right.
That's crazy.
Just insane. It's insane. So you're live right now.
Right now on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And I wanted to get the real deal from Mr. Paul Machine, the guy that has the data thanks to Black Book.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, I'll catch up with you.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Always great insights from Paul Machine. He follows the market like nobody's business, and he puts out regular reports so that he's up on the latest data. And the best decisions are made when you have the data to make those decisions. I was looking for you.
What's up, buddy?
Mr. Owen Moon.
You live?
We're live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. More importantly, how are you doing?
We are doing fabulous.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
So Fixed Ops Digital, we're an online service marketing company, and our biggest, I guess you could say, what we do first and foremost is build an infrastructure on the website, right? So we're doing specials management. We tie that in with like good content about different services, and then bringing in like explainer videos.
Yeah.
Kind of creating that whole infrastructure that we've seen work on the sales side. We bring it to the service side. Once that gets done, then we start doing, more traditional strategies like social marketing,
Yeah.
Facebook, paid search, stuff like that.
Now that's key because, if you walk into any store and you pick the number, it doesn't really matter, and you ask the GM or the dealer principal, how much of your budget have you allocated towards variable ops marketing? And they can usually, within a few dollars, tell you exactly what it is.
100%.
Now, I walk in, I ask the same question, how much are you allocating towards your fixed ops marketing? And then that conversation changes dramatically because the look that I get is generally not followed up by any kind of a number.
Not only is it not only a number, but it's very high level, right? Oh, we're doing some email marketing, or we're doing some direct mail to our database. Nobody is conquesting, trying to drive in those new customers. They're online, right?
Right.
And that online customer is a lot different. So you gotta work with those customers differently. You gotta provide a different shopping experience. And so yeah, it's typically not enough, and we're starting to kind of change that. I think what happens is a lot of service departments, they don't know what to do.
Right.
So they look to a company like us to really provide them a good playbook. That's what we do every day for our guys.
I was going to say, I mean, it's what you do, so you kind of know the lay of the land.
Yeah, we get a little deeper too, like again, being very surfacey, you can maybe hit one strategy, but we get into tires. We talk about accessories,
Tires,
collision.
number one defection point, right?
100%. So if you can build out a good strategy for each of those, now the dealership has something that they can actually drive customers to, and that helps them, create that additional business. So.
And then you create specific pages for the dealership.
Yeah, we call them service detail pages.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a combination of kind of an explainer page. What is this video, or what is this offer? What's this service? And then tying it in with kind of a why service message for the dealership. We always are fighting the independents, right? Jiffy Lubes, the Monte-Keys, things like that. We have to be able to tell the customer not only that this is the service they need, but why should they come to the dealership to get that done. So.
Well, and the other nice thing about it is that when the customer goes to the dealership's website, one that's your client, they will actually see a bunch of content that's service related.
Not only content, but in a way that takes them down that service shopping funnel to the appointment. And I think that's the most important thing that we really haven't stressed enough, probably to our clients or even to the market.
Yeah.
It's not just about building content. It's not just putting about coupons on the website. It's actually creating an infrastructure where you take that customer down to the appointment, just like we do on the sales side, right? We take that customer through the SRP, the VDP to a lead. We're doing the same thing. It's specials page to the content that's specific for that special to the appointment, and just building it all out in a way that really makes sense for the customer.
So you're guiding them to the purchase. You're guiding them to the store.
Just like Amazon.
Yeah, and that's, it used to be that we were car dealers.
Yes.
Now we're not car dealers. We're retailers.
So many profit centers, especially in the fix ops.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just about selling a car. Obviously, in selling a car, you got F&I, you got warranty. Here you got parts, tires, accessories, collision, service. We're getting now into recalls, maintenance intervals, different things like that. And now it's also selling cars out of the service lane. Let's have some information about that whole process. So
right.
We
so
can
many
do
deals.
anything. We really work with our dealerships for those custom strategies. So
there's so many deals to be had, but a lot of stores just don't have the strategy to do it.
Or the people power.
Right.
They don't have, nobody internally is going to spend that much time doing what we do. So, we just provide a really good infrastructure for the dealer that partner with us.
And you're building a nice portfolio of dealerships that are partnering with you.
100%. Yeah, we're blessed. Obviously, there's been a lot of challenges. COVID, we've got chip shortages, inventory problems. All of that has made the fix outside of the business just that much more valuable. And so, yeah, we're busy. We're really busy.
So you got an example here.
Yeah, that's our new drive service specials coupon software that we've just rolled out. And you can see it's really, really clean looking. It's got the most relevant call to actions that for your online customers. Can you see this right here? This is an integration that we just did with Sunbit. So one of our missions, one of our missions as a company is to make sure that all the other parts of their marketing or their infrastructure or their department all kind of work better, right? A lot of people use repair financing. Let's pre-market that to customers. Let's show them that they can get this deal for $9.39 a month. At least it's giving them a little information, so when they get to the dealership, they can ask about it. Or when the advisor brings it up, they don't necessarily feel like they're getting sticker shock.
Well, that's great, because I think some time back I saw a stat that if somebody were to be hit with a $400 repair bill or a $500 repair bill, a lot of people wouldn't have the money to do that.
No, not at all.
But $9-10 a month to get their car fixed so they can get back to work. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer.
It's a necessity. Let's do it. So
Yeah.
our mission is just to be that resource for the dealership to bring all of their parts of their department to life and kind of work together with everybody. Because, you know, some bit, the only time that gets brought up is right when you said, hey, you got a $400 bill or repair that needs to be done. That person says, I don't have the money. Now all of a sudden their guard's up. They just want to get out of there, right? They want to get out of that situation.
Save face,
Yeah.
let's go.
Why not pre-market it so when they do bring it up, they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw that. I get that for $10 a month.
Well, here's the thing too, that there are people that if they got hit with that bill, they might not want to confide that they don't have the money.
True.
Right?
Very proud, right? Proud people.
Because they don't know there's an option. But if they come in, you know, and they didn't have the money, now you can change the whole conversation. Well, I saw something on your website about servicing as low as $9.39 a month. Can you tell me about that?
Tell me a little more about it. That's a whole different conversation, right?
A whole different
That's
conversation.
what dealerships want to have, not the other conversation, which is guards up, get me out of here scenario.
They're not saving face. They're there to do business. I mean, somebody comes in, nobody's just coming to kick tires or look. They're coming to fix stuff.
Yeah, something's changed in their life today, and so they need that that fix. And so let's get that information on a website, on the dealership's website, so they can just soften the guard, right? Give the customer the ability to trust that dealership and know that this is somebody that I want to work with.
Awesome.
Not going to the Meinekes or the Jiffy Lubes.
Owen Moon at Fix Stops Digital. You can find their profile on dealervendormatch.com.
Thanks, Paul.
Good to see you, man. All right, we're going to see my good buddy, Robert Sebastian, with Under My Care virtual training. Robert, how are you, man?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook right now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you offer?
Well, hello, everyone. We're here representing Under My Care, part of gravitationalbusiness.com. Under My Care virtual training for service managers, service advisors, creating an Under My Care culture where we all care for the customer. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty basic. It should be illegal to charge money for this stuff. You know, it should be common sense, but unfortunately, it's not. So together as a team, we'll have a culture in the dealership that signs up to the Under My Care training. Everyone together pulls together to make sure that the customers get the right quantity, quality, frequency, and combination of services and accessories every time they visit your dealership. And the customer's happy, the customer comes back over and over, and they end up buying all of their cars from you for the rest of their life.
Now, Under My Care is a whole nother scenario than customer. Right? Customer is just somebody that comes in that conducts business.
That's
they
right.
Do a transaction.
It's a different way of thinking of each person that walks into your store. A customer, if you look in Webster's dictionary, it's someone who's a purchaser of a commodity. And to me, it doesn't really matter what you call them, a guest, customer, or client, but you should think of them as a client, because a client is someone who is under your care, is someone who you take responsibility for. So you're going to have such a deep care for them that the customer cannot help but reciprocate that, and they'll want you to do well. They'll want you to make a lot of money. They'll want you to succeed in your career because you cared so deeply for them.
They want to contribute to your success. Now, we've got a couple of comments here. Christine Mitchell says, "Hi, Paul, wish I was there." And our friend Roger Conant from Texas says, "Paul is always live."
Hello, Roger.
I think that's where I got the nickname Spielberg from, right?
That's right. Well, this is a fun show. I've met a couple of people that I've known from LinkedIn. It's been really nice to meet these people in person, like Lou Ramirez, Fred.
The coffee guys. Yeah.
Coffee guys. Herb Anderson.
I haven't seen him. I'm looking forward to meeting him in person.
Yeah, it was one of the nicest surprises here.
Awesome. Well, I wish you a successful show, my friend.
Paul Meyer. the highlight of the whole show.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
And in my mind, too.
Great to see you, man.
Good seeing you guys.
Don't forget, where do we find you online?
Gravitationalbusiness.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Robert.
All right. Thank you.
He's broadcasting live. Hello, auto industry.
From here. Next week, we'll come back here.
Are you guys live?
Yes. Are you live?
I'm live.
Of course you are.
I'm online.
We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook.
That's what's going to get me to the inventory. That's what's going to get me soon. A lot of people also ignore educational opportunities. If that wasn't the case,
Oh, there he goes. There he is.
So think about that. Very, very important. Educational opportunities. Also, lack of internal communication. I mentioned a few minutes ago that sales managers, in many cases, do not align with the needs of the BDC because there's no communication. It's a culture thing in a dealership. And of course, there's that lack of patience. We're in the now business, right? One of my clients, whenever he would get mad, he said, I don't care about next week. I'm in the now business. I want it now. And we are in that lack of patience phase. It happens a lot. And this is why things fail. Nobody gives anything a try. You know, I see people actually at a dealership last week, and the manager goes, I just hired 2 people. They just started working and they're ready. He's expecting
My friend
them
Stan
to sit
Shear.
there and do 150 phone calls a day. It's crazy. We need to have a little bit of patience with what we do. So real quick, I want to pay a little tribute before we get into the nitty-gritty. Because if it wasn't for a specific person, we wouldn't be here. The industry wouldn't have evolved to where this industry is. We would never be as big as we are, as a conference, as an industry. Mr. Ralph Pagni, I'm sure some of you guys know him. Some of the younger generation probably doesn't. Founder of Automotive Digital Marketing, one of the first people to sell cars on the internet, was on the cover of DigitalDealer in 2007 for killing it in Courtesy Chevrolet. And I want to pay a little tribute to him because we all evolved from his teachings, from what he's done. Sadly, he passed away in December. And again, I just wanted to give him a quick tribute because none of this would make sense if it wasn't for someone like him paving the way for all of us out there. For those of you that don't know him, do some research. He is why we are where we are at this point of our lives. So let's talk about the aspects of BDC. And this is very important because this evolves. There's even more to this than what I have here. Starting from internet leads, right? We talked about internet leads coming in through the fax, going into outbound phone calls, going into taking inbound calls, going into sales training. Yeah, that's right. Your BDC needs to be properly sales trained. And I'll explain that why in a few when we get into the digital retailing piece of this. CRM training. The CRM companies constantly coming up with new tools. Sometimes more tools than some of the dealers even need. In-store training. You guys need to have trainers come to your dealership. Not just OEM trainers, but trainers that have some kind of skills that can help your dealership be better on the phones, be better in the CRM, be better at handling your customers. Obviously, inbound calls, right? It's very important to know how to handle an inbound call. Of course, if you can train your team virtually, because we're in the COVID times, get your people trained up through a Zoom call. The art of communication is important. In my opinion, we're not in the car business. We're in the communications business. Anybody agree with me? We are in the communications business. The product is the car, right? We're selling the car. That is the byproduct. That's what we're moving. But we are in the business of communications. If we cannot communicate, we will not succeed in any type of sales or service. So it's very important to consider that when you think about BDC. We are in the communications business. Next, accountability. How do you hold your people accountable?
I'm going to show you some really interesting tools later on how to hold your dealerships more accountable. And it's more than just how many appointments you said, how many sold. It's more than just, hey, I need you to make 100 phone calls. You can make 300-400 phone calls a day. There's tools out here to do it. In fact, there's a tool here in this booth that has a really great tool for that. So we have to learn how to hold ourselves accountable. So the typical B2C approach, call, text, email, used to be processes where you do 90 days, 120 days. I got out of all that. I did that 10 years ago. We've evolved as an industry. We've evolved in the B2C. And I'll go over that a little further down the road. Robotic engagement. In my opinion, there's too much robotic engagement. There's too much, when there's a phone call comes out, hi, Mr. Jones, how are you? This is Stan from ABC Motors. I see you called about this 2015 Toyota Camry. Did I catch you at a good time? Well, that vehicle's available. When can you come in? It's too much of a 30-second conversation. We have no humanization whatsoever in this industry. And in my opinion, we need to stop that. We need to start building rapport. We need to increase these communications and connections with people. And we're going to get into that a little more too, further down the road. I'm trying to build like a little funnel here for you guys. So also the premature appointment attempt. When can you come in? That's it. You know, it's like, and that's all they get trained to do. Because again, what's the philosophy? Just get them in, right? Just get them in. Who cares? The car's not there. Just get them in. It's a zero carrier service customers. Again, going back to the culture of a dealership. Just get as many people as you can. We'll switch them. It's so funny. I live in the Northeast. We have so many used car dealers, and it's amazing to me. They'll advertise fake cars. You know, they'll take a car that's advertised. They'll take the same pictures and do another VDP, another VIN, and they just don't care. Zero care. Bring in customers. They don't care that they make 8 out of 9 customers angry. They just don't care. They just get them in. You know, so we have to start developing some level of care for what we do with our customers. And as you can see here, robotic approach, and here you have a careless individual not caring about their customers. Put a little graphic out there for you. So let's talk about forward-thinking consultative selling. This is something that I've kind of coined for my company when I started training. Thinking back to how I did things when I ran ABC and how I did things when I ran ABC.
So I like to say,
and first of all, I don't use the word marketing. I like using destinations. In my opinion, that is the way to go. It sounds more professional. You show the customer that you care about them, but you're actually reminding yourself as a care.
Get in on it. Must be worth it. It's free.
All right, we're here with Steve Apicella. Your dealer experience.
All right, Paul Meyer.
So there's a guy that knows a lot of bit about the customer experience. You know, it's funny, in the car business, we tend to recycle a lot of the same things. We seem to bring back something that we did or knew a long time ago as though it were something new today. It's almost like we just discovered it, but we didn't. You know, dealers spend, the last time I looked at numbers, $633 per customer to bring them in. Now, because of COVID, I don't think they have to spend hardly anything, but that's all going to end at some point in time. Now, you have a really cool product insofar as you tie all the pieces together and you make it real easy. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and what makes it so unique that it's real sticky for dealers?
The part to examine is when you look on the floor here, 99.9% of the offerings for Digital Dealer are to digitally acquire a customer, which I think is smart, obviously. But what about after you've acquired the customer? Should we digitally abandon them after the point of sale, or should we digitally embrace them beyond the point of sale? So I think as important as digital retailing is, it's the first step of what should be a digital life cycle relationship between the dealer and their customer.
It's only starting the process. It's your tooling that enables the rest of the process to happen.
As you mentioned, the cost of acquiring a customer is quite expensive traditionally, but the cost of retaining them, if you're using the right methods, the right process, is a lot less expensive. And I think the rhetorical question for anybody in our industry is it our mission to only sell a car or to also earn a reoccurring customer? And the best example of that in digital engagement is Amazon. Amazon's not transformative because they can digitally sell something one time. Anybody can do that.
Right.
What makes them so powerful and the unprecedented leader is that they've solved the digital engagement before and after the sale that keeps the customer coming back again and again.
It's the life cycle.
So, and again, there's a lot of important contributions fighting for the same place. How to digitally acquire a customer at this event. But there's one solution in how to digitally retain the customer beyond the point of sale. And the other thing which I believe is relevant to this topic is, should we be able to sell service contracts and warranties beyond the time and funding constraints of the F&I menu presentation, especially since it's such a critical financial work center?
Well, 7 out of 10 don't buy one when they come out of the box.
So, and what happens? If you simply gave the customer an organic way right on their smartphone to be able to learn about these products and engage them, customers will make their vote. Or a rewards program or push notification dealer messaging or any one of the features of our platform. They're very powerful individually, but the magic is we put them all together in one unified engagement platform, because after the point of sale, the customer won't engage any more than one digital solution. So having multiple things is part of the problem. We unify that so that the engagement between the dealer and the customer is rich. And obviously the end game is the direct linkage is more revenue touch points. It's what's being missed right now.
Now, I'm going to throw out a scenario that probably plays itself out across dealerships in any city, any state in the U.S., and probably beyond our borders. I'm a customer. I purchased the car from your dealership. I may have purchased some ancillary products or warranties after the fact. Now I go in. I'm not sure, typically speaking, I'm not sure what I purchased, but I seem to recall the F&I person tell me about some product that if I had a problem with my wheel or key or something, that I now have coverage, but I can't find it. So I go to the service counter. The service advisor, who maybe knows me, doesn't necessarily know what that transaction included. So if there's such a warranty that I did purchase, chances are very good that they don't know what it is, so we can't go forward at that point.
It's really unfair to the service advisors. Here is that magic moment, right? The customer comes back organically and says, hey, I bought my car here and I bought some protection products too. I need service support. The service advisor today in most instances has to say, all right, I'm here to help you. What products did you buy from us?
I don't know.
Imagine the way it makes a customer feel.
Right.
Wait a minute, time out. I bought this stuff from you.
Right.
Don't you know?
You represent the dealership.
So that's part of, when you take a look at this very valuable financial work center of F&I, If anybody looks underneath the hood, proverbially speaking, how do the third-party administrators that power those products traditionally provide service related to them? Today, for most, it's a 1-800 number, a phone queue, call hold wait times, and manual claim processing. But worse, every dealership has more than one third-party administrator supporting those products.
Right.
So you don't have one analog process. You've got 2 or 3 or 4 that the service advisor on behalf of the customer or the customer has to navigate. Does that promote retention? Should the customer experience of these very valuable F&I products matter? I think they should, because it's all part of one journey. And this is the part, the industry looks at it as disconnected parts, but the consumer sees buying a car and servicing a car and selling a car and doing it again as one thing. And the more we embrace them at, during, and after the point of sale, the Amazon-like experience, the more the customer will make their vote.
Now here's the beauty. So now take that scenario that I just painted and you fast forward to somebody, a dealership that's utilizing your product. And the customer comes in and says, I bought a warranty. Now, how is that different?
Yeah, so we're here to help. What's your last name? Scan the VIN barcode on the car, and it shows all the products that the customer purchased, even if there's multiple third-party administrators. So one view for a service advisor or customer to engage. But what's magical about that is not only can you really deliver service when service is needed, but if we can organically show a customer or service advisor in one view everything they did buy, then we can also show them everything they didn't buy.
Right.
Giving that organic second, third, fourth, fifth swing at the plate to extend that revenue value of F&I products beyond the time constraints of the F&I menu or beyond the funding constraints so that we can sell more of these. When we sell them through our application, we send out a digital survey that asks one single question. Why didn't you buy these products when you purchased your car? The most common answer by far is, I didn't know those products were available.
Exactly. And you know why that is? Because when they go into the office, they are predisposed to, this is the place where I go where they're going to whack me with a bunch of after sale. I don't want anything. I just want to get out of here.
Right.
Now, here's the downside to that conversation. Because they've been trained that way, we're not really doing the customer justice. And here's what I mean by that. Cars today are fancy. Wheels, tires are fancy. It is very easy for me as a car owner to hit a curb or a pothole and blow out not only a tire, but also a tire and a wheel. Now, that little episode right there could set me up for $1,000 repair in some cases, right? I didn't buy protection. It's not all about profit. It's about the service and the enhancement of the customer's experience. Because now, because I went in with blinders, I had no interest in that product. But guess what? When I get presented a $1,000 bill, I may have some interest in that product. But then it's too late.
Obviously, the folks that are here at Digital Dealer have some kind of digital mindset. They're here for a purpose. They want to find the solution that creates a more genuine connection that has direct linkage to more revenue and better experience. I'm an old school guy myself, but the question is, how often is my head in my smartphone or anybody else?
Multiple times an hour.
The truth is, these things are so valuable. They're not only with us all the time, they're generally out of our pocket and right in front of us all the time. That's how important it is.
Yeah.
So when we think about, it's cliche but true, business is built on relationships.
It always has been.
No doubt. But long-standing quality relationships are always built on good communication, always. And the litmus test of that is simple, is intentions aside, if you're not communicating in a way that your partner, your customer, your spouse accepts and is receiving, then the relationship ends.
Right.
In the car industry today, how does the dealer communicate with their customer after the point of sale? Phone solicitation, junk mail, whether that's email or postal,
Yeah.
or random text messages, and they are random. How does the customer, but more to the point, how do you respond to text messages, random, or a junk email, or a phone solicitation? People interpret that today primarily as fraud. Don't click, don't engage,
Yeah.
delete, hang up. But those are the methods that a dealer is using today. In our platform, they use the customer's smartphone and their dealer branded app to send push notifications.
Push notifications is a whole nother level of communication because it is assumed to be a trusted source.
Right on your smartphone. And the cool part is, just as the opposite of not engaging, customers, everybody engages push notifications constantly. Notifications like, I missed a phone call.
Yeah.
I missed a text message. The sports score, if you happen to have a sports app on your phone, or the weather, the current weather. Those are all native and intuitive, and customers are conditioned that that's safe and a part of their smartphone device that they use so often.
It's like a family notification.
So those push notifications, that's the conduit. But then we train dealers, what should that engagement look like? What should the first communication be? I believe the first communication after the point of sale should be, thanks for buying a car from us. Welcome to the family. We're looking forward to being on this journey with you. To put a clear stake in the ground that selling you a car isn't the end of our relationship, but just the beginning. Or what about a service advisor after that says, thanks for buying a car from us. We're looking forward to your journey with you. Let me show you how we can uniquely support you better than anybody else for your servicing needs, to introduce the customer to the service drive. And a lot of dealers mistakenly think that let's just walk them around when the customer's buying a car. Paul, you said it earlier. When customers are finishing up the transaction, they don't want to linger around. They want to get out of there.
They've already been there too long now.
Let's go, right? But that valuable connection, let me show you what else we can do to uniquely support you on your journey in a way that customers receive. Or what about a service drive special? What about a community event sponsored by the dealer? What about anything you want, but in a way that the customer receives? That's the difference. It's not if we're trying to communicate. Every dealer wants to communicate with the customer. It's how we're communicating that makes that revenue connection or not.
Well, you know, that just changes the whole conversation on customer experience. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Paul.
Okay, so that gives you a little taste of what's going on here at Digital Dealer right now. Some great vendors. Met a bunch of great dealers as well. Food here was really good. I'm all about the food. So I had some great conversations with dealers and made some great connections. So stay tuned. There may be some other videos coming up. Thanks for watching this. And if anything that you saw is something that might represent value to some of your stores, feel free to share this broadcast with your automotive community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.